We are in the book of Ahava, love. The love of God brings you to a mitzvah. And now we're doing the laws of Mezuzah. All right. How's a Mezuzah written? Glad you asked the question. Two portions, Shema Haya Im Shamaya, are written on one piece of parchment in a single column. Approximately half a fingernail of space should be left above and below the writing. Fingernail, half of it, right? Right. Okay. Should one write a mezuzah in 2 or 3 columns, it's acceptable as long as it's not written in tail shape, in a circle, or tent shape. If it's written using any of these forms, it's not acceptable. Um, it, it's in the mall of Cotonej. It's what's Chatter is the name. Chatter is a division of Rogers, I think. So you just go to a kiosk in the Cotonej Plaza. I think that's where, if I'm not mistaken. I did it on. Better to go there than where I went because you might be able to do something more permanent. Okay, sorry. If it is not written in order, one wrote a passage Bahaya, Valium Shemaya before the passage of Shema, it's not acceptable. Right, those are the two first paragraphs of the Shema, right? That's what the mezuzah is. I'm sorry that I don't have a mezuzah here. Hold on, let me get the book out of the images. See images here. All right. Mezuzah should not be made from a Torah scroll or a tefillin that have been worn, nor should mezuzah be written on an empty parchment for a Torah scroll, because one should not lower an article from a higher level of holiness to a lesser one. So a Torah scroll is higher, the highest tefillin, then mezuzah in level of holiness. And therefore, you shouldn't take something that was meant to be used for a Torah scroll parchment, and now, oh, you know what? I'm going to use it for mezuzah. Now that you set it aside for Torah scroll, don't use it for mezuzah now, because you're bringing it from a higher quality or level, rather, of holiness to a lesser one. Okay, is a mitzvah to leave space between the passage Shema and the passage Vahayim Shema. Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, we're all familiar with the Shema, right? Page 45 in the Siddur, or no, not 45, that's the Amida. The Shema, there's a second paragraph still here, right? Page 42, 43. Yeah, actually, I have a mezuzah I could show you, but I think something you've seen. Okay. So leave a space between them, as if it were a stuma, that it was, right, not 9, you're starting at the Um, you're starting at the beginning of the next line, right? It's close, right? Sorry. Stuma means the next line is always in the middle of the line. If a space was left as a psucha, in other words, the end of the line was left open, but the next line, it started at the beginning of the left side, it's acceptable. Since these passages do not follow each other in the Torah. Because it's not the way it is in the Torah, because they're in two different Torah portions, one after the other, but not, not in Torah portions, but not in sequence in the Torah. One must take care regarding the crowns. On the letters of Mezuzah, the following letters should have crowns. Let me show you crowns. Hmm. I thought I saw with crowns here. Oh, here's an idea of what a crown is. You see those three little, right, above? Those are crowns on top of letters. So, okay, in the first passage, there are 7 letters of which each have 3 zayin, 3 of them, upon them, the shin and the ayin of the word shema, the nun for nafshecha, the 2 zayin in the words mezuzahs, and the 2 tesin in the word toitafos. So they all have on top of it little. They're almost like what's receptacles, like that you put on. Right. In the second passage, there are 6 letters, each which have 3 zayin on them, and they are the gimel for the word deganecha, the 2 zayin of the words mezuzahs, the 2 tesin for tetifos, and there's tzadik in the word haaretz. If no crowns were made, or one increased or decreased their numbers, a mezuzah is not invalidated. Right? It's something extra. Yeah. If the mezuzah was not written on a ruled parchment, if the scribe was not exact with regard to the use of the full and short forms of the words, or if the scribe added even a single letter inside the mezuzah, it is invalidated. Yeah. Number 4, it is common custom to write God's name, Shin Dalet and a Yud, on the outside of the mezuzah, opposite the empty space left between the 2 passages. There is no difficulty in this, since the addition is made outside. Yeah. Those, however, who write the names of angels or other sacred names, verses, or forms on the inside of the mezuzah are among those who do not have a portion of the world to come. Whoa. Not only do these fools nullify the mitzvah, but furthermore, they make from a great mitzvah, which reflects the unity of the name of the Holy One, blessed be He, the love of Him, and the service of Him, a talisman for their own benefit. They, in their foolish conception, think that this will help them regarding the vanities of the world. Yeah, it's going to be a good luck charm. People think of it as a good luck charm. Some people wear it like it's a facsimile. It's not. I don't think there's a parchment inside, but they wear it as like a Star of David. They wear it wrong. Don't do that. There's a mitzvah to write al haaretz on the final line of the mezuzah, either at the beginning or in the middle of the line. It's become universally accepted custom for scribes to write mezuzahs on 22 lines, with al haaretz at the beginning of the final line. These are the letters that appear at the beginning of each line in order. Shema, Yud Kei Vav Kei, V'Hadvarim, Vanecha, V'Shafbecha, Bein, V'Haya, Mitzaveh, V'Chol, Yore, Esav, Pen, V'Shtachavisim, Easier for me to read in the Hebrew than the English. Hashamayim avadatem v'samtem oisam atem baderech ve'uvisharecha asher al haaretz. Okay, when a mezuzah is folded, it should be rolled from the end on the line to its beginning, like for tefillin also, right? So that the reader rolls it open, he will be able to read from the beginning of the line to the end. After rolling it, one should place into a tube made out of reed, wood, or any substance and affix it to the doorpost of one's entrance with a nail. Alternatively, one should hollow out the doorpost and place the mezuzah inside it. So the covering, a lot of people think that that's the mezuzah, is secondary. What's important is the parchment. The parchment is written appropriately. Right? The substance that you put it into is, again, incidental. Yes, it's not about setting up a new account. You don't have to set up a new account. You can go there, but it'll only be good for 1 month. I think if you go into the mall, across from at Cotonej, I think you might have a better chance to do something permanent, but I'm not certain. The truth is, because I never went there. Victoria, I forgot the name of the place, next to the cleaners. Okay, sorry. Number 7. Before fixing on the doorposts of the entrance, once you recite a blessing, blessed are you, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam, should sanctify his commandments and command us to affix a mezuzah. Ligboya mezuzah is the Hebrew word, ligboya, to affix mezuzah. One should not recite a blessing when writing the mezuzah, because affixing it fulfills the mitzvah. So writing is, the necessity, of course, right? But it's about having a mezuzah up. If one suspends a mezuzah inside a pole, it is unacceptable because it has not been affixed, right? So it's like hanging. Hanging participle is not fulfilling the mitzvah. It's got to be affixed. So, sometimes you use two-way tape, I've done, and you got to be careful because make sure that the two-way tape, sometimes gets dried out and record, or like hanging there rather than affixed. If one positions it behind the door, it is as if it's one done nothing, which is sometimes, anyways, that's the general. Yeah. Should one hollow out the doorpost and place the mezuzah horizontally inside of it, as the rods were put through the rings of the sanctuary, it's unacceptable. Should one place it deeper within the handbreadth inside the doorpost, is also unacceptable. Handbreadth, right, is this much. So it shouldn't be deeper than this inside it, the doorpost, right? But also don't place it this way. But I see there's a debate whether this way. Actually, there is that. Therefore, we do it on a slant. Yeah, but see, there's different opinions on that. Should one cut a reed in half and insert the mezuzah inside, and afterwards connect this reed with other reeds, making a doorpost for the house from them, it is unacceptable because the fixing of the mezuzah preceded the making of the doorpost of the entrance. So, in other words, you have to have a doorpost and affix it to the doorpost. But if you made a doorpost from reeds and then you put that on, so you didn't put it to the doorpost. You put, right? So you got to fix the mezuzah to the doorpost, not part of, not have the mezuzah part of a doorpost that's not part of a home yet, right? Doorpost had to precede it. Okay, number 9. Mezuzah placed on private property should be checked twice in 7 years, and mezuzah placed on public property should be checked twice in 50 years. The reason for checking it is perhaps the letters have become torn and faded. Since it is affixed inside of a wall, there's a possibility that it will decay. Or the elements, Everyone is obligated to fulfill the mitzvah of mezuzah, even women and slaves, minors, and should be educated to affix the mezuzah on the doors of their homes, right? The minor, let's say parents passed away, right? They have a home. They're left with a home. Right? But they should still put up a mezuzah on their homes. A person who rents a dwelling in diaspora and a person who rents a room in a hotel in Eretz Yisrael are exempt from the obligation to fix a mezuzah for 30 days. When who rents a house in Eretz Yisrael, however, is obligated to fix a mezuzah immediately. So outside of Israel, you have 30 days. 11. When a person rents a dwelling to a colleague, the tenant is obligated to obtain a mezuzah and affix it. This applies even if he would pay to have it affixed. The rationale is mezuzah is an obligation of the incumbent of the person dwelling in the house and not incumbent on the house. So if I own a house, it's not incumbent on me. If I own a house, it's incumbent on the person living in the house that they have to, right? It's not because I own it, because because someone lives there. When a tenant leaves the dwelling, however, he should not take them with him unless the dwelling belongs to a non-Jew. In that instance, he should remove it when he leaves. So, if I were to rent from a non-Jew, I have to take it. Right? I'm not going to leave it there. They might desecrate it. But if it's a Jew that's going to live there, then I can't take it. I can ask him to pay for it. Okay, let's just do from chapter 6, the first halach. There are 10 requirements that must be met by a house for a person who dwells within it to be obligated to affix a mezuzah. If one of the requirements is not met, there are no obligation for the mezuzah, and they are: the area of the dwelling has to be 4 cubits by 4 cubits, which is 36 square feet, very small. For the entrance to have 2 doorposts, right? For it to have a lintel on top, across. Right, this is for biblical obligation, by the way, because rabbinic obligation, we actually do, even if it's only, well, there are many different. Right, for a dwelling to have a roof, for it to have doors, for the entrance to have at least 10 handbricks high, like 40 inches, for the dwelling not to be consecrated, in other words, belong to the temple, for it to be intended for human habitation, not a barn, for it to be intended to be used for a dignified dwelling, meaning not a bathroom, for it to be a permanent dwelling. Okay. Stop here. Thank you very much. All right.
Shabbat shalom.
God bless everybody. Amazing. Good Shabbos.